Minnesota Vikings have some of the best defensive personnel in the National Football League, and edge rushers Za'darius Smith, Danille Hunter, again, knock on wood, when healthy, getting after it, are one of the best duos in the National Football League. But production from Danille, the real deal Hunter, the pride of LSU, 99 problems, it's been a bit of an issue. And racking our brains here, like with Ed Donatell changing the scheme from a 4-3 to a 3-4, could Danille Hunter be sort of lost in that wash? It's really unfortunate, man, because a great defensive mind or any great coach forms their scheme around the players as opposed to impose the players into the scheme, just trying to fit square pegs in round holes. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it's just kind of whatever. And Danille Hunter, man, it really sucks because Danille, obviously in his prime at 27, he's still one of the best defensive ends in the National Football League, but this transition in the scheme, he's really gotten lost in the soup. So far this season, only 1 sack, 8 pressures, which is a career low through 4 games for him at any point in his career. Also, his pressure rate has dropped down to 6.3%, just less than half of his career 13.1% pressure rate, which is it's just really disappointing. And the Vikings, they need to get Danille Hunter going because he is an absolute asset, man. And a couple ways that they could and should do this. Number one, getting back to just putting his hand in the dirt. Now, I understand this experiment of moving him to a stand-up outside linebacker certainly has the physical attributes to do it, but he hasn't really done it full time since he was back at LSU. He has been a hand in the dirt defensive end ever since coming in as a 3rd-round pick in 2015 here with the Vikings. And 7 of his 8 pressures have come from a 3-point stance, hand in the dirt. Now, he's standing about 52.1% of his snaps, but I did notice that in the Saints game, he's a little bit more hand in the dirt, standard defensive end, especially on money downs in big-time situations. But maybe that is what the Vikings do have to do, where all the work in the offseason, no preseason games. You didn't really fully know what you had, and maybe it just sort of is what it is. Maybe Danille Hunter is too far along in his career to move permanently to a stand-up outside linebacker, like a TJ Watt, like a Khalil Mack, etc. So maybe he does need to be that close side of the field, left defensive end, working the tight end, working the right tackle. That's where the muscle memory is. He has a full dossier and all the right tackles in the game. Maybe that's what needs to happen. Potentially. Also, just blitzing more. That's been an issue for a lot of fans with Ed Donatell, where you're only rushing 4, sometimes even 3, and you're dropping 7, sometimes 8. And if it works perfectly if you're getting pressure with 4, but the fact that they're moving pieces all around on the defensive line and they're not getting a push, even though they have immense talent up front, it's been an issue. Right, and I'm not saying you have to go Greg Williams all zero blitz on the bit every single time. Well, you have to be Greg Williams for a myriad of reasons. But if you're not getting pressure with 4, send some more. And that's what's been really great about Danille Hunter is back in the Zimmer defense back in the day, that when the Vikings would run on 3rd and long, that double A-gap mug look when you didn't know who was coming, Danille Hunter would often get singled up one-on-one, and that's where he would do damage, man. That's where he would absolutely get after it. So blitzing, even just bluffing blitzing, even just changing up who is coming, who is not, would certainly help out 99 a lot. Next up, more games. We're not talking about like more official matchups. No, we're talking about, hey, just simple things like T&E stunts, like just running games up front. Like on 3rd down, if you're running a 4-man line, maybe you got Ross Blacklock in there, or maybe you got James Lynch just running a T&E stunt or a twist or whatever. Just simple things like that, where Danille Hunter can get favorable matchups. He can win one-on-ones. He can still get after it, man, because even top-tier edge rushers struggle against double teams. Not all of them, but not all of them for sure. And we've seen Danille Hunter defeat double teams before, but I like his chances a lot more singled up. And just getting back to basic football, you have the best players. Let them play. Line up and let them go to work, man. Like, I understand you want to be multiple up front with an odd front, with an even front, whatever, but just putting Danille Hunter in the best situation where he can succeed. Za'darius Smith is already doing his job, moving all over formations, already getting it, man. But they have to get back to 99 being a problem for the defense as opposed to being a problem for the Vikings. So I think they very quickly could and should do that. I think that you're going to see Danille Hunter's production skyrocket through the roof. He has been okay against the run this season. That hasn't been an issue, but pass rushing numbers, I mean, Za'Darius Smith is really carrying the day so far for the Vikings. So I still have faith. I think Danille Hunter is still elite. I still think that he's one of the best edge rushers in the game. But Dontel just has to put him in better situations, and Danille has to start winning. Whether it's a one-on-one, whether it's one-on-two, don't really care. But 99 problems needs to get back to being that dude again. But your thoughts are thoughts. Getting Danille Hunter going. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.